Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is December 14th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1919, the man of 1,000 holds, Al Costello. 1981, 1/5 of the Spirit Squad, Johnny Jeter. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for December 14th. 2008, former WWF and ECW enhancement talent, Mike Bell. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for December 14th. Jumping in the Wayback Machine and going to 1956, where we see Jerry Graham defeat Bobby Wepner to win the NWA Southern Heavyweight title in Florida. Grooving to 1963, Verne Gagne becomes a 6-time AWA World Heavyweight Champion, defeating the Crusher in Minneapolis, Minnesota, ending Crusher's second reign as champion. Disco ducking into 1979, Gino Hernandez and El Gran Marcus defeat Jose Lothario and El Hakan for the NWA American Tag Team titles in Houston, Texas, ending Lothario and Hakan's second title reign and beginning the second reign for Hernandez and Marcus. Grabbing my boombox and going to the 80s, 1983. Dick Slater defeats Greg Valentine in Shelby, North Carolina for the United States heavyweight title, ending Valentine's third and final reign with the belt. 3 years later, in 1986, the WWF taped the 9th Saturday Night's Main Event program for NBC during a show at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut. The show would air January 3rd, 1987. The main event sees WWF World Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan defeat Paul Orndorff in a steel cage match. This was the infamous restart match where Hogan and Orndorff both escaped the cage on opposite sides and allegedly touched the ground at the same time. The referee ruled the match a tie and had it restarted. This was the end of the Hogan-Orndorff feud, one of the biggest drawing programs of the 80s. And last but not least, 1992, the Hellraisers, Road Warrior Hawk and Power Warrior Kensuke Sasaki, defeat Scott Norton and Tony Halm, aka Ludwig Borga in WWF, for the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP Tag Team titles in Tokyo, Japan. Those were your super short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for December 14th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.